Hey yo, I don't even know you and I hate you. See, all I know is that my girlfriend used to date you. How would you feel if she held you down and raped you? Tried and tried, but she never could escape you. She was in love, and I'd ask her how. I mean, why? What kind of love from a would black your eye? What kind of love from a...
Domestic violence or domestic abuse is when anybody in an intimate partner relationship, whether it be a husband and wife, a spouse, a marital relationship, or just dating, boyfriend and girlfriend. There are also same-sex couples. Anybody in an intimate partner relationship, when somebody is exercising power and control over another person, there can be physical abuse, there can be emotional or psychological abuse, or sexual abuse. Anytime somebody is exercising a form of power and control or manipulating another person, we call that domestic violence or domestic abuse.
Emotional violence is when couples is always arguing, always getting into something, and they're not communicating with each other, right?
I think emotional violence is when someone emotionally abuses someone, like calling out their names or making them feel like they're worth nothing. Keep badgering them about, stuff that they should have did or won't do, and they're just basically throwing out negative comments or things to make someone feel bad about themselves.
I think emotional violence is like when your partner or someone that you're intimate with say things to hurt you, to make you feel inferior, like you not nothing.
And that's what I be saying. You focus more on school than you focusing on me. I'm your priority. You feel me? Number one priority. All this other shit, we don't need this. I got a job with school. You with me. Don't look at me.
No, but I seen emotional violence every day.
I experienced it like a half of a year ago when my boyfriend, he used to always make me feel real bad about myself. Call me names, call me out my name, and telling me that I'm never gonna do nothing. I'm never gonna be nothing in life. And he just always made me cry. Like every time we talked on the phone, he made me cry like every day. And he was always saying negative things to me, and he just made me feel like I was worth nothing. It made me feel bad. Like I had very, very, very low self-esteem, like to the floor.
My friend, her mama always be talking about her, calling her out her name, all types of curse words that I cannot say. But when I saw it happen to my friend, I felt bad for her because she wasn't taking up for herself, and she was hurt.
When someone isn't treating right or the relationship ain't going how it's supposed to.
If they hurt by you, if you did something to hurt them or make them feel like they dumb or they not as worthy, they're not worthy of you, they'll say something to hurt you because they feel like you hurt them.
I mean, it basically comes from within their self. They may, be experiencing some low self-esteem.
When that person is feeling inferior about themselves, or they want control, they want that person to do what they say.
Physical abuse when somebody's laying their hands on another person.
Physical abuse is when you kick, punch, beat, slap, stomp anybody. It don't matter who it is, it could be your family, it could be your friend. If you putting your hands on them, touching them, you a physical abuse.
I think physical abuse is when you physically harm someone, like touching them or, hitting on them, beating on them, and they're not wanting you to.
Damn. You want him? You want him?
I seen my cousin, he was beating up his girl one time because she was cheating on him. So sad, so sad. No, I think it was wrong because of the simple fact, by putting your hands on somebody don't make the situation better.
I done witnessed it and I experienced it. I witnessed it. My mother used to get beat up by my stepfather. He used to beat her. And I used to just sit in the corner and cry. And I vowed to myself that I wouldn't never let no man just beat on me voluntarily. And I ended up fighting one of my ex-boyfriends before. But it wasn't like I was just letting him hit me because we was out there boxing, like fighting.
I've witnessed it from my dad hitting my mom, but I've never experienced it. It made me feel bad and helpless. I couldn't help my mom at all. every time I screamed, that made my dad yell at me, so I basically couldn't help her when she was getting hit on.
Somebody isn't doing their job right.
Somebody that they feel like they unwanted, or they probably just doing it to prove a point to their friends or they family, like, yeah, I got her in check, I got him in check.
I think it has something to do with pride and power, because they feeling less of a man. So I believe that they're gonna, physically abuse their woman because she's fragile and she can't really defend herself. So it basically has something to do with power.
What causes physical abuse is the same thing that causes all other types of abuse, which is an unhealthy need for power and control on the part of the perpetrator.
Okay, and I have to.
I think they shouldn't let you self-defense.
A person should not hit another person unless it is self-defense, but a person should not hit no person for something they said or something they did. I mean, it ain't even that necessary.
Me personally, if you hit me, I'm hitting you back.
I believe self-defense.
Sexual abuse is when your partner forces itself upon you or talks you into having sex.
Sexual abuse is when you forced to you forced to participate in sexual acts and you don't want to. It ain't consented by both people.
I think sexual abuse is when someone trying to make you do something sexually that you don't want to do.
I got back. You know I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should just go ahead and go to the room.
No, stop, please.
What you mean stop? See, that shit I'm talking
Just
about.
stop.
Ain't no, what you mean stop? Ain't no stop.
Just stop. You're taking it too far now. I'm tired.
Either you might look nice to that person, you might look good to that person, they want you and you turn them down, so they gonna force themselves on you. Or it could just be you letting them do it, so they gonna continue to do it.
Maybe the abuser had got, sexually abused when they were younger, and they didn't get cured from it, because it basically starts from, what happens when you're younger. A lot of the sexual abusers.
A great example is like if this person is leading this person on, but it's not really what they think. They think they want to have sex, but this person really don't want to have sex. They just playing with your man.
Yes, I think domestic violence is a major issue because we have people that look up to older people, and if they see that, that's what they're gonna be raised to.
It's an issue, but I don't think it's major because we got a lot of programs out here that can stop that. And if you subdue to that, and that means you want to be there. You could leave. Ain't nobody put no gun up to your head and tell you to stay and let this person beat you or talk to you like that. Or you can always find help. You just gotta want it. You just gotta want to get out of that situation.
Yes, I do think it's a major issue in the community because young girls, they getting beaten and all that, and they think it's a joke. They think it's, well, okay, my boyfriend, so what, he did this, he did that. No, it's not a joke because he could get killed. Anything can happen.
The effect of domestic violence on community, there are many effects on a community. I think the most severe effects are on the children in the community, because whenever there's a domestic violence situation or a dating violence situation, the kids are most impacted, whether it be kids themselves, teenagers who are in dating relationships that are unhealthy, or simply kids that are forced to witness or get caught up in adult domestic violence relationships, and that tends to perpetuate a cycle that can continue on for generations. We know that many times women and men are killed in domestic violence relationships. So the answer there is probably the worst thing that can happen is somebody loses their life. Sometimes we learned 6 or 8 months ago here in Chicago about a celebrity whose child, I believe, was killed, or whose nephew was killed because of a domestic violence relationship. So again, children are hurt, and sometimes victims are killed.
About half or more, maybe 70%, never know.
Probably like 60%. I think it's more than 50, more than 60%.
60 to 70%.
At least 25 to 30%.
The statistics are different depending on where you go, but we generally say that somewhere between 1 in 3 and 1 in 4 teenagers will experience an unhealthy relationship or will know somebody closely who experiences an unhealthy relationship before they're 18.
It could be solved if everybody work together and just start using their emotions and not their hands to do something with people. You get what I'm saying? Maybe this one go down how it would.
Like I said, you could talk to somebody, let them know they can help you. Even if, say they might keep you in a relationship. Even if you telling them you don't want to be with them, they study, come at you. You can find somebody else, make authority or somebody, because that's gonna stop it. In a door, unless they just flat out crazy.
It really can't be solved because they still gonna do what they want to do regardless. And if the girl feel that way, they gonna let them do anything they want to do, so they gonna keep doing it.
I believe if more people came together and talked about the issue amongst each other, like friends, family, or they having programs in the community to help teens cope with what they're going through.
I think it has to start with every individual. So if every individual begins by looking at themselves and their own propensity to hurt somebody else, whether that is in a domestic violence situation or just a relationship in general, that's where we need to start. Besides that, there are plenty of opportunities for people to get involved with agencies like Sarazin or other domestic violence agencies, or they could do what many students are doing, like yourselves, and create awareness projects.
My advice is get out. If he ain't doing what he supposed to do, if she ain't doing what she supposed to do, she study accuse you, and you doing the right thing, you trying to make it work, leave them alone because they not for you. No matter how much you love, care, how long y'all been together, because the time don't mean nothing.
I believe that, it starts with, a shove on the shoulders or they pulling you. If they can do that, if they can grab you by your neck just playing around, then they can seriously beat on you and harm you. So the first time, you need to get out because it will not end.
We don't like to give advice, but the suggestion I would give is that the best thing somebody can do in a healthy situation is make sure they have somewhere to go or someone to talk to who will support them no matter what. So the worst thing that can happen in this situation for anybody is to be isolated and alone and not be able to have someone else to talk about options with. So if we're talking about teenagers especially, the most important thing to do is to find an adult who will support them, not somebody who will say to leave, or not somebody, sometimes a parent's very good, sometimes a parent is not so good, but an adult they can trust, a teacher, a counselor, a parent, or somebody at an agency like Sarazin to go to who will support them no matter what, because not only do they have some form of emotional support, but they have someone to run their ideas by, someone to help them maybe recognize things before they get too dangerous, or simply help them know if there's a way they can solve the situation, or if they need to talk about, if they need to think about other options. It's most important to have someone else to rely on. Well, of course, since I work for Sarazin, the first thing I'm going to say is we strongly encourage them to come or to call Sarazin. Here in Oak Park, that is definitely the closest place that somebody could go. But if you're talking about students, the other thing that many students have available is a counselor or a teacher is often is often the best person to go to for help.
What's up, stranger? Time to see us outside. Let me see.
It's not
Damn! What happened? Let me see. Girl, what's going on?
Back on.
David hit you? What you mean? Who hit you? He hit you.
No, we're gonna call
You
police.
saw Oh, you want me to call my brother? Cause we could do this one way or another, but he finna stop putting his hand on you.
It was my fault.
How was your fault?
Girl, baby, he just probably.
Cause I had Pookie get down on him.
Look, he hit my man hit me sometimes then.
You need to get away from him.
He loves me. I just heard.
But y'all can love each other from a distance, cause that's too much. What is he putting his hand on you for?
Because I be steady ignoring him while I'm doing my work, but it's cause I just start failing in school, but I just need.
You was getting straight A's. How you go from straight A's to F? How you feel? If you keep on hitting on you, you gonna be ugly. You was pretty. You don't need that.
Well, look,
I think we need to let her go for she be wearing some sunshades too.
Gonna do like
I'm just gonna stay in home.
You can come live with me, girl.
I don't think y'all should take a break or something, cause that bean ain't gonna.
That break is just.
What you doing with them? I don't like them.
Excuse you.
I don't like how they influence you. Like
Hold
them.
on.
What did I tell you about being with them?
You
Didn't
get out
I
her
tell
face.
You don't be around
I
them.
will make you.
No,
I will make
Got you.
Save the drama. She coming with
you.
me.
Want all the drama.
Don't
Don't touch her. She ain't going nowhere.
Go find your own man and worry about you and him.
She ain't going nowhere. Just know when I found one, he ain't gonna be like you.
please do.
This is mine.
No. Where'd
This
you
is
going?
mine.
No. Where'd you going?
Find you somebody else to play with. This mine.
He gonna hit her in the wrong spot. She gonna be dead. She don't learn no though.
Gave you diamond rings, but them things wasn't worth none of the pain that he brings, and you stayed. What made you fall for him? That had the power to make you crawl for him. I thought you was a doctor, be on call for him. Smacked you down cause he said you was too tall for him.